happening and we can focus on what's happening on the field. And if you listen to Mark DeRosa, MLB great, who is still heavily around the game, he was interviewed by Adnan Virk on MLB Network, and Mark DeRosa had this to say about the A's in the 2025 MLB season.
All right, prediction time. I don't want to go totally bold here, D-Row, out of the gate. It's only show one with you. So Brent Rooker, 39 home runs, 112 RBI last year. I'll tick those up a little bit. How about 40 and 120 for the key linchpin of this offense?
I would like that. I think they're coming off a 69-win season. I think they have a chance in the AL West to actually scare some people. This offense is nice. They're going to hit the long ball in Sacramento. If they get good pitching, no one's hitting Mason Miller on the back end of this thing. We know that. So can they contend for a third-place finish in the AL West? I think so. And you want me to go obscure?
Yeah, give me a specific player, yeah.
No one knows J.J. Bleday hit 43 doubles last year. Doubles add up, people, okay? He might lead the American League north of 50 doubles for Bleday in center field for the A's.
Great stuff from Mark DeRosa. I really couldn't have said it better myself. They shore up the rotation, the A's do, adding Luis Severino and the trade that they made for Jeffrey Springs. So that is really going to give them more depth at the starting pitcher position in that rotation. I really like what they're doing there. You know how I feel about the lineup. Mark DeRosa said it as well. They're going to be able to hit the baseball. This is from MLB.com, our guy Martin Gallegos, as we discuss the Rays dealt starter Jeffrey Springs and left-hander Jacob Lopez to the A's for high-ceiling MLB-ready starter Joe Boyle, first base prospect Will Simpson, pitching prospect Jacob Waters, and a competitive balance round A pick in the 2025 draft. So that happened there. That's actually from Adam Berry as they broke down that trade. So that gives the A's what they needed from the pitching aspect. We know what's going to happen at the end of the game, right? Mason Miller. And we've talked about, will Sutter Held do something fun for his entrances, things like that. But you got to be in a position to close games. And the A's were in that position a little bit with 69 wins, but they need to be there more often. And we're hoping with the addition of Luis Severino and Jeffrey Springs that they're able to get there. One thing that I am very confident that the A's will be able to do is hit the baseball. With Lawrence Butler, them locking him up earlier, let's not forget, at Golden One Center, they locked up Brent Rooker. So that's the top of their lineup. J.J. Bleday, his doubles, what he's going to be able to do. So that's your 1, 2, and 3 hitters right there. I'm really big on a nice stud, young shortstop, and I think the A's will have it with Jacob Wilson. The beginning of his career in the bigs got derailed by injury, but this dude can hit the baseball, right? There have been some questions about whether or not he'll be able to hit the long ball over time, but the guy makes contact. The guy is going to be able to go gap to gap and do some things there at the bottom of the lineup. You also have J.P. Spears as well and Osvaldo Bido in that rotation. So I'm really excited from what I'm seeing with the A's, Seth Brown, Zach Geloff. The thing about Zach Geloff, I mean, they're just young players in this lineup. This is a situation where you're building, right? And to not get too caught up in where the A's will be in 3 years and 4 years, what they're building is a young lineup that can hit the baseball, that is getting used to MLB level pitching and proving that they can produce at this level. I'm big on Shea Langoliers, one of the funniest, best names in the big leagues right now. Giovanni Urshela, another guy who came over. He was on the Yankees, then he was on another team, and now he has reappeared. We know what he can do defending the baseball at third base. So I like what I'm seeing from the A's. I think what it comes down to is not the Rangers. The Rangers are going to rock and roll. More so for me, it comes down to what the Mariners are going to be. Kevin Durant just came out and said that, you know, he really likes the Mariners and he really likes Julio Rodriguez. He kind of sees Julio Rodriguez as the KD of Major League Baseball. He dealt with injuries last season. The Mariners didn't really do anything. What are the Mariners going to do, and what are the Astros going to do? Besides that, if one of those teams fall, and I know that's just the AL West, but with 3 spots in the wild card, if it's not this year, we could be seeing a Houston Rockets of 2024 season for the A's where they mess around. They're really close to that last wild card and don't ultimately get it. But I do think there's a chance that they mess around and sneak in there.
Okay, so you make a lot of very good points, and I agree with the pitching staff, and I see the optimism there. Mm-hmm. Also, Miguel Andujar, he was pretty good last year.
That's right. I like him too. Another former Yankee.
Yeah, he's going to be the left fielder this year for them. So I agree with all those points. However, the thing that I've been stuck on for 5 minutes is Mark DeRosa, who sounds like one of the most positive A's clips I've heard in a while, said the phrase, "They're going to scare some people." And every time you hear someone say that, that's my code word for this team's not actually that good, but they might scare some people.
But to me, that's like the dark horse thing, right?
No,
it is kind of like the dark horse thing.
You're going to scare some people is, hey, don't just overlook.
You're going to lose close games?
No, it's not. They're not the doormat they used to be. So people have to actually prep for them. But
no, I don't look at it like that.
Notice
you could scare some people is you win the first game of a series. Oh, I didn't think that was going to happen. And now we better show up or we could lose this 3-game set.
He didn't give a number prediction for wins. And he said they're going to scare some people.
He was focused on the doubles for JJ Bleday. That's why.
Anyways, I hear that word always, and I'm like, anytime I hear that, I can just write off that team. If they say they're going to scare some people, watch out.
Well, but write off for what? I'm like I said, you're not writing them off from what I'm saying. I'm saying they could flirt with the last wild card.
No, you made a lot of very good points. Their top 3 in the order might be a top half 3 in the order in the entire league.
I would agree.
You could make a case that they might have 1, 2, 3 of Bleday and Lawrence Butler and Brent Rooker might be one of the best, what a top half 1 through 3 in the league, which is something you haven't been able to say before.
Right.
But you're going to scare some people tells me the team's not quite complete yet.
No, they're not there yet. I was reading this morning, still trying to figure out who's going to be that 5th starter, which a lot of teams are trying to figure out.
It's going to be
5th starter
what's his name? Sean Estes' son. I forgot what his name is now. Is it Joey? It's gonna be him probably.
So they're still trying to figure that out. According to they have Mitch Spence from Roto Champ, and they have him there. They have Osvaldo Bido, like I said, JP Sears. Those are their 5. But I read this is Roto Champ they posted this a while ago. What I was reading earlier is they're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, listed on the 40, they have those 4 that we mentioned, and then Joey Estes, Luis Medina probably would have had it, but I think he had Tommy John maybe, and then Ken Waldichuk are the ones that they list.
So, a lot of people were joking the A's when it comes to, oh, we're going to pay this money to watch Shohei or Aaron Judge hit some home runs. And with all that being said, whether Kyle wants to joke about not making some, we just make a list of all of them. Scaring some people, making some noise, dark horse, whatever it is.
Sneaky good.
There's going to be a lot of bombs hit by your A's this season as well. So don't fall for it. Last but not least, we will get to this Lawrence Butler sound on becoming an all-star. And it might be something that I add to my daily routine as well. We'll tell you what it is, and we will get into a little bit of Niners before we close.